Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So for today's video, I will not be sharing English tips or jobs, but today I will be sharing to you the time that we experienced the Typhoon Odette in Cebu. And I think it's important for me to share to you the things that I have learned during the typhoon or after the typhoon or with that incident, because I believe that everyone can gain some insights about it. So the typhoon exactly happened in December 9, and that was around at 5 p.m. when the wind started to become strong. And actually, in my area, we don't usually have typhoons. And if we have a typhoon, usually it's just weak, not that strong. Usually we just have rain, but last year, December 16, we had a strong wind in my area, and we can really feel that it's strong, even it was just at 5 p.m. because the skies are very dark and the birds are just flying away or going somewhere. So I think that was the moment I realized that maybe it's a strong typhoon. So actually, my family didn't prepare anything because, again, so the typhoon is usually not strong in my area if ever we have a typhoon. And at 7 p.m. until 11 p.m., that was the period of time that the wind was so strong already. Of course, we didn't have the electricity already because the electricity company already turned off the electricity to avoid some accidents. So it was very dark and the wind was just very strong. And I really thought, or my family thought, that the house will be destroyed or the roof will be flown away. So, yeah, thank God that we were safe. But actually, after the typhoon, so the damage was, yes, there were a lot of damages, and we did a lot of repairs. And unfortunately, we didn't prepare for that typhoon. So, we don't have food. So, we didn't have food, we didn't have water, and we didn't have batteries. And of course, we didn't have the electricity yet because many lines or poles fell and many lines were broken, and the electricity company cannot repair as soon as possible. So it took them 2 weeks to repair the electricity in my area. And so for 2 weeks, I couldn't work. I didn't have work for 2 weeks, and our Christmas and New Year that time were very quiet, very dark, and it's not the usual Christmas that we always have. But again, for the things that I have learned in this situation is that first we really need to be prepared, especially in times of disasters. So even though your area is not prone to have strong typhoons, so it's important that if there's a news about a typhoon coming, it's important to prepare food, water, batteries, and other necessary things, especially the water and the food. Because again, we didn't have electricity, so water refilling stations were closed, but some water refilling stations were open and they used generators to make the machine work so they can sell water, but the price was about times five pricier. So I think it's important to be prepared with the water, with the food, and with the battery. Second, I have learned is that you need to save money while everything is going well. What I meant is like you need to have an emergency fund. As for me, in my case, I couldn't work for 2 weeks because of no electricity in my house, and my job is depending on electricity, and I couldn't afford to buy a generator. So for 2 weeks I couldn't work, so I have monthly bills to pay, and I'm glad that I was able to save a small amount of money and used to cover up or to cover the expenses that I spent during the Christmas and the New Year, and also the monthly bills I need to pay. So I think it's very important to save. Yes, if you have extra money, don't just spend it anywhere or buy anything what you want. Try to have an emergency fund. And the third thing is that I have learned that even in difficult situations or worse situations, there will always be a positive side of everything. So, as I have said, we lost electricity for 2 weeks, and I was very worried that time because I wanted to work. I wanted to started teaching online, but I couldn't. So, I have learned to be patient and to trust God for everything. And yeah, just use your spare time to do something or use the time to connect with your family. So during those 2 weeks, so I was able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for so long. For example, washing the dishes. So in my family during the typhoon, because we needed to save the water, so my mom asked me to do the dishes every day because she knows I know how to save the water. If my brothers will do the washing, like do the dishes, so probably they will just finish the water in just one wash. So, yes, I was able to do the dishes and I was able to move, like move around the house, clean the house, or try to check the things that I didn't check before because I was so busy. So I think there's always a positive thing or positive side, even if we think that the happening or the situation is worse. So these are the three things that I have learned with the typhoon. So it was a challenging moment, a challenging time for us. So our humanity is tested. So it's really important to prepare. Yes, prepare, save your money, save for emergency fund, and try to find a good thing in our situation. I hope everyone is doing well, and I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. Keep safe and be prepared all the time, and always pray for safety. And yes, I will see you in my next one.